Right. This is, I was going to say this is a quick one, but this might be a bit longer than I thought. This is the backstory on my Rolex Pepsi, my 16710 GMT Master. Right, so the story starts off with this one. This was always the one that I wanted, right from back in, I don't know, 90s or whatever it was. This was always the one that I wanted, but in those days, you know, I couldn't afford anything like that. So I used to look at them and dream of them and all the rest of it. So let's move forward now to a few years on from that. And a friend of mine, he was a lot older than me, but he had the black and red version of this, which was called the Coke. And I used to look at it and think, oh God, I'd love that. I'd do anything for that. You know how you are when you're a lot younger. So anyway, time went by, and I had other watches, and then I started off with the usual, the Brightly, and I had the Navi Timer and the Seamasters and the Mega Seamasters. Anyway, it's nothing to do with it, but I always wanted one of these. And anyway, so then I got my first Rolex. It was, I'll tell you what that was back in the day. It was one of the old Air Kings, the small Air King. But it didn't matter in those days. The small watches didn't really matter. But I always wanted one of these. Anyway, so let's move forward. So let's move forward now to what should we say? Mid 2000s. Anyway, so the story of this watch actually starts off, and I used to walk by a jeweler's, and in those days, let's say we're mid 2000s. So if you're young, it's a long time ago. But if you're not, it's really not that long ago. Anyway, so there used to be one in the window. I used to walk by, and there they were in the window. There were Submariners and dates and no dates, and there was a GMT Master, and there was a Pepsi in the window, and I'd seen it a few times and walked by it and stuff. And anyway, so I woke up one morning. This is now, we're in sort of like 2005, something like that. And I got up early. Wasn't doing anything that day because we were going on holiday the following day, funnily enough. So I was nipping into town to, get the last minute clothes and trainers and whatever you take on holiday. And I walked by the shop, and there it was in the window, and I thought, oh, you know what? I'm going to get it. I'm going to get it for my holiday. So I went into the jewelers. In those days, when they treated you really nice, they treated you all the same, not like looking down the nose and, don't want to serve you and all the rest of it. And the chap was really, really nice. I remember him well. And I said, look, I'm looking at the GMT Master in the window, the Pepsi in the window. I don't think they even called Pepsi in those days, but the GMT Master in the window. So, so he said, well, come in, have a sit down, and we'll have a chat. So I went in, sat down with him, and he said, look, I've got to be honest with you, the watch that's in the window there is, it's not for sale. I've already sold it. So I said, I said, well, look, I'm going on holiday tomorrow. Could you get me one? He said, so he had a quick flick through his computer or whatever it was, and said, I can get you one for 2 or 3 days. I said, no, mate, I need it today. I'll need it today because I'm going on holiday tomorrow. Anyway, he said, the best I can do is 2 or 3 days. So I said, okay, leave it with me. And then, so I came out, and I was doing a bit of shopping, and I thought, oh, you know what? There's another Rolex shop. I never used to pass that one because it was in sort of a side street. I'll go and try them. So I went round to them. Again, went in, treated really nicely. Not like some of them that trod in. And sat down, told him what I wanted. He said, look, is it got to be the Pepsi? And because he'd got other ones. I said, no, you know what? That's the one I want. If I'm going to spend the money, that's the one I want. So he said, well, you know what? I haven't got one. He had a check on his computers or whatever it was. And he said, you know what? Our other store, which was about 50 miles away, they've got one. Drive over there and pick it up. So I said, look, 50 mile, I'm not bothered about the 50-mile trip. I'm not bothered about that. I said, any chance you could get it sent down here today? Because I'm going away and I've got last minute shopping to do and all the rest of it and the kids and everything else. So he said, look, I've spoke to him. We can get it you here for tomorrow morning. I said, look, mate, I'm going away. Like, I ain't got time to do it. And I was impatient. In those days, impatient. I want it now. So he said, well, look, I can't help you with that, but that's the best I can do. Will be tomorrow morning. So I said, well, look, leave it with me, and I'll have a think. So if that was in this day and age, I think, yeah, you know what, I'll just wait. But I'm young and I'm hot-headed, and I want it now, I want it now. So I came out, and I don't know whether I phoned my mate or he phoned me. And he said, "Oh, did you get it?" And I said, "No, there's a wait. There's 3 days at one and 1 day at the other shop." And he went, "Oh, where are you looking?" So I told him where it was, and he said, "Well, I didn't get mine from there. I got it from another shop. I won't name the shop." So he said, "Give them a call. He said they know me quite well. Give them a ring. Tell them who you are, and see if they can help you." So phoned them straight up, and you wouldn't get this answer now. I rang them up and said, "Oh, I'm after a Pepsi." He went, "Yeah, I've got one in the window." I thought, wow, okay. So this shop was about 15 miles to maybe 20 miles away, a lot nearer than the 50 miles. So I said, "You know what? I'll jump in the car." And so yeah, so I remember jumping in the car. I even remember what car I had in those days. I had a Mazda MX-6, the coupe, the 2.5. So I flew over to the shop, went in again. Bloke, lovely bloke. And to be honest, I have dealt with that shop a lot since. And but he was always nice from the word go. So like I say, so he pulls it out the window, and I remember at the time it was on a tray with another watch. It was on a tray with the Sea Dweller. I think it was the Sea Dweller at the time. So he said, so I had a quick look at the Sea Dweller. I said, no, you know what? It's definitely the Pepsi that I want. So we got it out the window. I tried it on. Said, yeah, so he sized it up and everything for me, and I'm wearing it in the shop while we're having a chat. And anyway, in those days, the list price, I mean, bear in mind, this is only mid-2000s, so to me, that is not a long ago, but if you're younger, it'll seem like an age ago. But the list price in those days was £2,350, if I remember rightly, or £2,300 or £2,350 pounds. But on the way there, I'd phoned my brother-in-law for some directions on where this shop was. And while I was on the phone, he said, "Oh, I've dealt with that shop before as well. They're always up for a bit of a deal. Like you might not get it, but you want to ask for a bit of discount." So while I'm there, I've got the watch on, and it's 2003, 2050, whatever it is, 2350, sorry. And I said to him, is there any discount? And he said, "Well, what are you thinking of?" So I thought, go in strong. They can only say no. Would you take £2,000? So he said, "No, you know what? I can't go that low. But what I can do," he said. He came back with something, and anyway, we backwards and forwards, but nicely, not falling out. We went backwards and forwards, and we come to a deal at 2050, 2050. I mean, can you believe that in today's? So not only have I gone to a Rolex shop, and the watch is in the window, and you can have it today, and they're not snobs, and they're not treating you like something on the bottom of their shoe, or whatever else goes with it. Yeah, so I did the deal, put it on. It was obviously full set, brand new, papers and wallets and everything else. So I put it on, and I drove home. So that was how I got how I got the Pepsi. That's this one that I've owned for now, knocking on for best part of 20 years. So anyway, I wore it as my daily. Obviously, I went on holiday and did everything what I'd do on holiday in it and all the rest of it, and probably wore it every day for probably, I don't know, getting on for about a year. Then I started to rotate it with other bits that I bought, like I say, C Master and a Navi timer, but that doesn't matter anyway. And then around about 2009, I put it in the safe, and sort of, I don't know, not got bored with it. Yeah, maybe got a bit bored with it or fell out of love with it. I don't know. But obviously, I've had it for 4 years by this sort of time. So other things have come in, and other things have come in, and other things have gone. So I put it away, and then I didn't really get it out again until sort of, I don't know, I got it out a couple of times just to have a look at it and stuff. But yeah, pretty much I didn't really bother with it. And then I'm guessing now around about 2015, something like that. And I'd started getting the bug at the time for, I wanted the tag Monaco, the blue face Monaco, the square one. I've always fancied one of them, and I still fancy one of them to this day, but I've just never bought one. But I fancied one of them, and I also fancied the panerai. At that time, panerai was the thing, and everyone wanted a panerai. So I thought, you know what, maybe the time's come to sell it, but you know, I didn't really try to sell it. Anyway, it was in those days that I'm guessing it was 15, 16, 17, something like that. That Paul Thorpe started doing videos when he did his first lot of videos before because I know he did some videos and then he left YouTube for a while because he had some problems with. If you're watching this, you'll know what his problems were. And then before he came back, so this is his original lot of videos, and he used to have his. I think he was still trading in those days, and I don't know whether his video came up or his number came up on one of the videos, whatever. But he said, you know, if you're thinking of selling, I think he was doing a video at the time on the Pepsi. Thinking of selling one of these, you know, I'll buy it. So you know what? I phoned him up. I rang Paul Thorpe up, and he answered the phone, and it was just exactly as he is, sort of on YouTube. And so I said, look, I've got a GMT Master. It's an absolute beauty. I've had it from brand new. Everything's there. You know, asked me all the questions. Yeah. I had a bit of a chat with him. He was quite a nice bloke, and he'd sort of got time for you. Although he was still working in those days, or still watched it in those days. He got a bit of time to talk to me. So anyway, he said to me out of the blue, he said, you know, why, if it's that nice and everything, you know, if you don't mind me asking, why are you selling it? So I said, well, I've got the bug for, I said, I'm either after, well, actually, I wanted both. I wanted I told him I'm after a tag Monaco. And I think at the time it was the Panerai Black Seal, something. I think it's a Black Seal. I don't know. One of the cheaper ones anyway. And he said, "Oh, really?" And I said, "Yeah, you know, because I think on his website at the time, he had a website at the time. And he got some Panerais not on there." And I said, "Look, you know, if you've got a Monaco and a Black Seal, and we'll do a part exchange," but he hadn't got what I wanted. So he said, "You sure you want to do that?" And I said, "Well, yeah, you know, I mean, give him his due. You know, he not that he talked me out of it, but he sort of like made me think a little bit." So he said, "You know what? If the watch is what you say, stick it in the post. I think stick it in the post. Send it down to me. If it's what you say, it's worth $4,000, maybe a tad more." And the selling price in those days was about $5,000. So, you know, it was offering me, you know, pretty good money. Obviously, you always want a bit more, but I thought, yeah, four and a bit, I'll be happy with that. But he said to me, so I said, yeah, all right, nice one, Paul, blah, blah, blah. What do I do? You send it here, you send it there, and you do all the rest of it. I mean, if he's watching this, which is probably not, but he might even remember that call. He might remember that call from 2016. So, he said, but before you send it, he said, just have 24 hours, just think about it. He said, because long term, I mean, I sort of knew this anyway, but he said, you know, long term, there's a lot more future in the Pepsi and the GMT Master than there is in the other two. So to be honest, I thought about it. I thought, yeah, I'm still going to do it. I want one. Anyway, I woke up the following morning, whatever it was, and I thought, you know what? I've had time to think about it, and I didn't do it. So if he's watching this, or anyone's watching it that knows him, he might remember that call. You know, I mean, you know, everything I say on here is completely true. All my videos are completely true. You know, I don't make any money. I don't ask for anything. I just do it because I like to do it. So yeah, so I say, so he taught me out of it. So pretty much, I put it back in the safe, and that was, I did wear it. So after I spoke to him, I did wear it for a little bit, but I sort of in and out of love with it. I think it was just boredom. It was just boredom. So, and I put it back in the safe. I think in 2017, and then obviously, I moved house and stuff. But so just to cut a long story short, the bank safe that I've got isn't even in the same city that I live in now. Yes, I could change it, but I can't be doing with the aggro. Plus, the city that I live in now hasn't got a metro, so you know I can't even use the same bank. But you know, when I do go and swap the watches over, we have a day out. It's only 35 miles away from where I live, something like that. So we have a bit of day out, a bit of shopping, because obviously I know my way around that city well, and just swap a watch over, and that's the end of it. So yeah, pretty much I put the watch away in 2017, and you know what? I've only got it out just in 2022. I've just been sort of taking stock of what I've got, what I still like and what I don't. Not that I've forgot about any that I have got, but they're sort of good to the back of your mind, and we've all been a bit carried away recently with, you know, watching them go up and up and up and up and up, and now they're starting to stand still a little bit. You know, you sort of take stock and think, you know, no, not that I'm going to sell them, but you know, sort of, is it time to buy or change or whatever? You know, there's always stuff that I want, but this is just one of those watches where I bought it and I've always sort of liked it. You know, I know I sort of fell in love with it, but there's other watches when I get them home and I think, oh, you know what? After a couple of days, I don't even like them. And I'm going to give you a quick one now. I'll do the full story on this, but just to prove how like impulsive and how quick I go off things. 09, 010, whatever it was. I bought a Kermit, okay, and I, I bought that watch for £2, a Kermit for £2. Yeah, and that's it was second hand. I don't know what, however old it was at the time, probably 5 years, 6 years, whatever. 2,000 quid. I got it home, so I think it was like say it was a Thursday or a Friday day I bought it. I got it home, hated it from the minute. I hated it from the minute I got it. The green just didn't do it for me. I know people are going to go, oh, it's worth a fortune now. Yeah, it is, but that ain't why I do it. I do it. I buy what I like. You know, there's going to be some watches coming up soon that people are going to go, oh, that's horrible. But I buy what I like. I've never bought for other people. I buy what I like. So I got that Pepsi. I got that Kermit. I got it home. I hated it. I hated it from the minute I got it. And the following day, because I've got a lot of friends who are, you know, into watches and stuff like that, a friend of mine bought it. And so I had a Kermit for 24, 48 hours, whatever it was. And I was glad to see the back of it. If you've got one, yeah, fair enough, you know, you love it. But I personally, that's one of the ugliest watches that I've ever had. So, you know, like I said to you, I buy things, I buy what I like. I don't care how much they are. Yes, I'm not going to lie to you and think, oh, I don't want them to go down in price. I like things to go up, but it's not really for the money. I buy what I like, and then when I get bored of it, I get rid of it, pretty much. So yeah, so pretty much that's the backstory on the Pepsi. I mean, I'm going to stick it back in the safe and not going to wear it, but it's one of them where I think I can't sell it now because it's the first watch that I ever bought new, first Rolex, sorry, that I ever bought new, and I've just had it so long, and it's just, you know, I don't think I'm going to find one better. I think like out of the, let's think how many years I've owned it, probably but let's say it's 17. Let's say it's 17 years that I've owned it. I bet in that 17 years I haven't worn it for 1 year out of that. If you added all the days together, I bet I haven't worn it for a whole year. So it's got reasonable wear marks on it, but it's one of those, you know, it's unpolished, it's everything, it's a full set, the box, inners, outers, cloths, everything. So, you know, I couldn't sell it even if I wanted to, but never say never. So yeah, there you go then. So that's just a bit of my backstory. I hope you find it interesting because, you know, I don't want to just do a normal watch or this is this is that, and this is, you know, I want to give you a bit of a backstory on why and where and just try and make it a bit more interesting. So anyway, so I've rabbled on today. So I'm going to say, as always, thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.